Good evening, everybody, and welcome to ORL Season 13. This is Tier 2, and welcome to round number 2 in Interlagos for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And it is being live streamed this week, and I'd commentated Tier 1 last week, and I've been moved to Tier 2 to cover all the action. I am Jess, and joining me in the commentary box is the one and only Mr. Black Panther. How are you doing, mate?
Hey Jess, it's good to be back on commentating again. Like I think I did this one time before in the Japanese Grand Prix last season, and yeah, I can't wait to to commentate on these guys because gonna be an eventful evening for sure.
Yeah, indeed, and what a great race it was last week. Obviously, we saw S13, I can't even pronounce his name. He took the win last week with 25 points to his name. And we saw Bastek in the Williams take second place as well. And Italy does throw out some good moments and also some instances as well. There was quite a few instances last week, but we'll go through that in a second. But if it will help if I just get the game sound unmuted. There we go, that would help actually. So Brazil has hosted many title deciders in the past. We saw Lewis Hamilton take his first title back in 2008. We saw that Isaac Glock moment, if that's the case as well. But obviously, it's the second round of the championship. Some of these guys need to step it up if they want to make the jump. There's a few Tier 2 guys that have been moved up to Tier 1 tonight, so that's why we've seen the likes of Antoine, who's been moved up to Tier 1. And VSL site, I believe that's Jake. He's been moved to Tier 2 as well. He wants to be in the Williams anyway, so as we go towards the tricky right-handers. But for some of these guys, either the jump down to Tier 2 may be the right option for them.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting how the guys who got dropped down to Tier 2, how they are gonna do against these guys, because I know that some of the top guys in here in Tier 2 are really having the similar pace of some of the drivers from Tier 1. So I'm interested how it's gonna end up with in qualifying and in the race as well.
Yeah, indeed. 19 drivers tonight. There's one driver that could not make it, and already we're seeing Shazoo Zones in the racing point. They've just set the fast lap time of 106.5. Now, someone has been setting times in the 105s earlier in practice, so I wonder if we're going to see exactly the same in, obviously, we definitely will see in Tier 1. Tier 1 stream can be found live as well, but we'll probably potentially could see it for the faster guys in Tier 2. Obviously, like you said, the pace is quite similar. Skirpy comes across the line now, but he's invalidated his lap. How do I say this name? Koala in the racing point is saying purple sector 2, so he could be going even quicker, so unless he goes into the pits, but I don't think he is because he's on fresher tyres at the moment. So he comes across the line now. Let's see what lap time he can do. It's a 107.5, so he didn't have a great last sector there, but it's still, he's not far off the pace, 1 second off the pace, so we could expect to see a very close qualifying session.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the guys who are going to start in P11 are going to go for another strategy, like starting on the mediums or even on the hards. Like, it depends. I know that it's possible to do the one stop from soft to mediums or mediums to soft tires, but it's tricky to keep the tires under control and like not wearing them out too much without losing advantage on the harder tires. So it's gonna be interesting who's gonna start in outside the top 10.
Yeah, indeed. If I was outside the top 10, the alternate strategy will definitely be the way to go, because for some reason I found the mediums to soft strategy around here a lot easier than the soft to mediums, because obviously the softs wear out pretty quickly. So the ones, obviously, if people were in a lower tier, obviously they would possibly try the soft to hards. Potentially that's a little bit of a safer strategy, but these guys, they want to take risks here. They've got setups that they can manage the tyre wear a little bit more, and if they get that right, then they can take it just a little bit. As far as I'm aware, I will go through the strategy later on, but as a reminder, they can pit for the softs, well, then for the mediums on lap 14, and the maximum they can take the softs is lap 17. So if they play their cars right, they can stretch it out just for a few more laps at the moment. I do believe Jonathan's not going out again because he's running out of fuel. But Jake's going out again, though, in the Williams for his second flying lap well, he's on his out lap at the moment, but he's going on for his second lap soon as well.
We got Mr. Enket, who is now running up to the finish line. Let's see what time he can do. It's gonna be a 1:07.2. So he started on the medium, so I think he was gonna check if he can make it to the top 10 on the medium tires. But I think if you really wanna, I think you have to qualify on the soft tires if you wanna be in the top 10.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, we don't know what the weather is at the moment, and I kind of like to be surprised about the weather situation, but surprised to see less people on the mediums actually on their first runs, but I'm guessing some of these guys, they're a little bit more confident on the soft tyres, so that's why they've gone for the softer option, the medium option, which is great to see, but I'm guessing they don't want to be invalidated, because if you do invalidate, that gives you less chance to set your lap, really, to be honest. And Skirpy's one of those drivers that needs to get their A-game. Nerdtex as well, who's in the pits. But they got 11 minutes to go, so there's still time to be prepared. But look at the gap between first and seventh place. Only by 1/10 of a second, and between first and fifth, it's by 600ths.
Yeah, it's insanely close into the split. Like last race it was as well, super close in qualifying. And you can just guess who is gonna take pole. I mean, we got the likes of Zones, Bastek, Miller, Kruzix. Like all of these guys are really fast, and it's not like it's not like Formula One like this weekend where there is just one team who is 1 second faster than all the rest. Like no, this time we got a really bunched up grid who are very close to each other. So it's gonna be really interesting who is gonna top off on pole today.
Yeah, indeed. Obviously, I bet you, due to the fact how close it's going to be, we may see a few different pole positions, to be honest. Because I've seen, obviously, in the Tier 1 whilst commentating last week, just one small mistake, and then that's probably 5 or 6 positions, if that, if you lose it, really. And it's just insane how much time and effort these esports drivers, well, some of these esports drivers take to actually get to the top. And I mean, these are one of the best of the best. Obviously, PC is people's most preferred platform, because obviously, if you want to take part in the pro draft and you go to the Gfinity Arena, the rigs are on a PC. So the more you get used to it now, the much better you will be when coming into the pro draft, as some people will be experiencing very, very soon. Quite not sure when it's going to be due to the whole COVID situation, but you know, this could be a warm-up for obviously when they do the Challenger Series pretty soon, which I'm looking forward to. That's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, it is. And this for the first time in this league, we're seeing 2 Mercedes in in Mercedes livery.
Yeah, exactly. It looks pretty cool, and like even in real life, it was very cool to see. But now it's really a beauty in the black Mercedes. Like I don't know if you can say the silver arrows anymore. Like I think it's now the black arrows, then I guess. I'm not sure about that
I still like
though.
to call them silver arrows, because that's their kind of like slogan in a way. But there we go. And apologies for some reason, the fastest lap still says Shazoo Zones, but it's not. It's Bastek. So hold on, let me just fix that a second, and let's see if it resets itself. No, it hasn't. We set it to a different person, but it's probably going to stay there just for a little bit. So apologies about that. There's quite a few people have invalidated. Now, I think, obviously, turn 1 is probably where we'll see invalidations. Maybe towards Junsao, where we see a few people go off and invalidate as well. But since the corner cutting is strict, it's a lot harder to set a validated lap around here. And it could cost you a position if you're not careful. And I think we've got Kruzix on the lap now. Yes, he is. Well, he's about to start a lap. He's on his out lap right now with 7 minutes to go. A few people going out a bit earlier than I thought. I mean, I think they just want to get in as many laps as they can. If they're going earlier, it may sign that it may be changeable conditions. And Brazil is quite common to throw a bit of a sprinkle of rain time and time again.
Yeah, I think also that the guys are now trying to run 4 runs in total. Like I think that was one of the reasons why we saw I don't know which driver it was anymore, but we saw a guy on the medium. So I think he's sparing 1 set of soft tires for in the race, so that he can do 1 run on the medium tires and 3 runs on the other softer tires, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. It depends on what softer or option you go, because obviously softer you get all the softs, but balance you get 3 softs and 1 medium on this game.
Yeah.
Harder, I think it's 2 softs, 1 medium and 1 hard. I am not sure, but on some tracks it doesn't let you do that. I know I'd chosen a harder option on one track, and it just gave me the same option as balance, so for some weird reason, but they probably would have fixed that by now. But anyway, 6 minutes left to go. We're already reaching expectations at the moment with 106s, maybe 105s. We're already faster on this track than last game, and obviously we know that these cars are a lot faster than 2019, obviously a lot more realistic as well. And at least in the race, they don't have to worry about managing their ERS as much, except if they press the green overtake button, which again they've got to manage really, really well if they want to obviously have a chance of winning the race, because if they use it too much, then they will lose a lot of power on the straight, especially when they try to overtake.
Yeah, indeed. Like, I just was watching Kruzix, who was finishing his lap, but he didn't improve. I think he was 400s down on his fastest lap time. So yeah, I think he has to go for a run again. In about, I think he's gonna pit now for new softer tires to do a new run.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if he did that.
It's gonna be interesting. Who is gonna get into the top 10? Like we still got Danny Orr, who is pretty fast, and Zen Ame as well, on who is in the AlphaTauri at the moment.
Yeah, Zen Ame, that's how you say it. Okay, thank you. At least you said it first. I'd like to apologise, guys. I am rubbish when it comes to pronouncing names. So if I said it wrong, then I'm sorry. I'll probably get it right at the end, pretty much at the end of the season, to be honest. But yeah, he's not doing too bad either. 15th place, but you know, I'm not sure if I know Tier 1, they're not allowed to have slipstream in qualifying. I'm not sure if it's the same for Tier 2. Is it the same for Tier 2? Is that banned as well?
It's not. We don't have like a gentleman agreement in here, but I don't see someone really like giving us slipstream at the moment. We haven't seen it in the last qualifying, I think.
Right,
so
okay.
I don't think then that they will do it now. Like I think they will drive more for themselves at the moment and see what lap time they can do, because sometimes it can be distracting too. To be fair, like giving a slipstream. And I think it's like less effective on this game compared to 2019. It's what from I heard from the guys from Tier 1.
Yeah, I think for some tracks like Monza, obviously last week, they were glad that they banned the slipstream in Tier 1. But in Brazil, I think the only place you could give the toe is potentially the Center S, and potentially just after Jung Sao as well. But apart from that, there's not really much to give slipstream. Or maybe turn 5 into turn 6 as well. But again, that's a bit hit and miss as well. So it is the calm before the storm. We are about to see the final. Well, everyone go out on their final lap. Sauron going out a bit early. I guess he wants to get his final lap pretty quickly as well. And he's already sent the ball rolling. Purple in the final sector just before he starts his flying lap, and he invalidates. So that's not good. But he has a chance to go again. Obviously, the AlphaTauri of Tower booking goes into the pits as well. I'm just seeing if anyone else is going to fly out. Gelbervan, that's it, in the McLaren. Just heading towards the tricky right-hander. He almost went off a little bit there, almost kissing the curb a little bit. But luckily, he kept his car under control, of course. But yeah, another driver that I've seen perform well in other leagues. I've commentated him quite a few times, actually. So here comes him in Jun Sao. He goes. Oh, it's a bit squirmy from him. That's not going to be a good lap from him, as I think he's going to back out and possibly start again, but I'm a bit worried about his ERS. But he's kind of fine in the pit. He's sped just... Well, to be honest, you can speed in the pit lane in qualifying, but you'll get a warning. And if you get 2 warnings, I believe, you get a 5-place grid penalty. So, yeah, you got to be careful about that. But, yeah.
Yeah, I think also that the guy why Soren is going out so early is because of the track is such a short circuit, so everyone will be like bunched up if they go out together, and like he doesn't want to get into the traffic or get held up by guys who are on an outlap. So he wants that clear air and putting a lap on without getting like off his zone, if that makes sense.
Yeah, indeed. So we've got 2 minutes left to go of the session then, and everyone is going out again, which is great to see. Now, Miller's on pole with a 106.2, closely followed by his VSR compatriot Bastet right now, and zones in P3. I could think, I don't know who's going to get pole position. It could be anyone. Literally, they could find a few hundredths of a second and then they could do it. So for some of them, maybe set to 3, maybe they need to find a bit more time, even set to 1 for some of these guys as well. Set to 2 is very, very tricky. I found that on this game when I've been trying to do a little bit of practice earlier on. It's just not the best, to be honest, but, you know, that's what a lot of these drivers have got to work on pretty much towards the end of qualifying. And Zen and Pantaleb is not going to get out in time. Nah, I don't think Zen is going to make it in time, because even though he goes out now, the out lap is around about more than 1 minute 7 or 6. So he's probably
I think he will just about.
You'll have to
think
cut
he
some
will
corners.
just about. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you'll have to cut some corners if he wants to make it, or he has to go a similar pace than his qualifying lap, as Muller has retired. Oh, he's invalid. Well, Bastek's invalidated as well. So I think the only people that can improve is potentially Zones and Krutitz get owned as well. Don't forget about him. I haven't mentioned about him at all in this stream, and I feel guilty for not mentioning him, but he could be with a shot in pole. Jonathan, Mr. Anchor, literally anyone right now. Jonathan's about to cross the line to start his final lap, and I think it's the 2 racing points. No, it's not 2 racing points. I think it's one of the Ferraris are going to be the final person to set a lap time. I know we've got an AlphaTauri of... Oh, is he going to... Nope, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not going to make it. He invalidated one of the AlphaTauris of Tower Bucking. Is Zen going to make it? Yes, he does. He's just started. Thank goodness for that.
Oh, Jake has retired as well, who was into the pit lane, so he's gonna... I'm not sure if he's gonna drop down. Oh, we got Prosty, who has finished P17 with a 1.7.2. So let's see who else we got here. We got yellow flags in the sector, in the beginning of sector 3. Nurtex has spun around. And we got Zones as well, I think, who parked it up.
Yep. I'm just trying to see who else is. So Danny is invalidated. Zen is invalidated. How about Kua? He goes into P14, so that's good. Nurtex, he's invalidated. And Zones goes into the pit. So that was an anticlimax to that qualifying session. But oh well, it is VSR Muller that... Oh, is there anyone else on the lap?
Yeah, we got the VSR. Oh, he's pulling into the pit.
So I called it right then. VSR Muller is on pole position for today's Brazilian Grand Prix in Tier 2 with a 106.2. No one going into the 105 like I thought we're going to be, but still an impressive lap time for the guys. Still quite close between 1st and 5th place pretty much by 400, so even closer. So I expect Turn 1 to be a pretty much slipstream fest.
Yeah, also the top 5 are all together in 1/10, so it's pretty insane to see how bunched up they were together. And like, as you said earlier, like one mistake you make and it can cost you pole position.
Yeah, it will be. So let's go run for your qualifying results as Muller takes pole. 2 Germans on the front row. Who would have thought it? Zones in P3, get owned in 4th. Krutitz in 5th place. BDG Jonathan in 6th. VSR Mr. Anchor in 7th. Tower Booking in 8th. Sauron in 9th. Danny in 10th. Chris in 11th. VSR Sight in 12th. Squippy in 13th. Koala in 14th. And we got Galvan, Pantaleb, Zen, Frosty, and I couldn't catch who else was in that. But I did scroll down, so people are able to screenshot it, luckily.
Yeah, I got the screenshots as well, just in case if the lobby crashes, but I think we will be fine.
Yeah, we should be absolutely fine on that one, thank goodness. So, strategy, I'll go through it again. Soft to mediums, most people said they are going to try. I've had a few inklings from a few of the chats that they were going to go for that. But they'll need a good setup order to make that happen, because I can't do that on this track. It's really hard on default setup, but these guys invested a lot of time in their setup, so as long as they can make it work, that's good. 2 stocks may be the better option, soft, medium, or soft, medium, soft, or soft, medium, medium, or even soft to hards if they're having a bad race. And obviously hards can definitely make it to the end if they pit at similar times, obviously when they go on the mediums. But yeah, I wonder what the people outside the top 10 are going to go for.
I think they will start on the medium tires or on the hard tires. But because if there's going to be a safety car out, the top runners are coming into the pits for sure for going on to the soft hard tires, I think, if it's in the beginning of the race, of course. So yeah, let's see what the tires they have put it on. If I can find it, of course.
Let me get the tyres up. Hold on a second. And it takes me a while. Oh, one person's on the hards. Yeah, Rusty.
Yeah, he did it too earlier in the social race this Thursday. So we got Jake who is starting on the medium tires. We got Chris surprisingly on the soft tires though, on P11. And we got he predicted the pit stop strategy. As you said earlier, we got the 1 stop and a 2 stop.
Yeah, mine hasn't popped up on my screen, or it might have popped up and I didn't see it, but
I wasn't expecting that to pop up, to be honest.
Well, that's the new thing on this game, my friend. I think it's your first stream you're commentating on, so in 2020. So yeah, it pops up now and again, so be warned about that. But yeah, it only pops up for a few seconds, but it's just a nice feature that Cody's had, and also the pit window comes up for some people if you follow them at the right time. So everyone, and warming tyres is another huge factor on this game, of course. We don't warm them up too much. And hey, it's popped up on my screen now, so all good. The stream now get the action. But yeah, if you don't warm up your tyres in a formation lap, your tyres are going to be extremely cold when going into the start line, especially if it's overcast. Luckily, it's not overcast at the moment.
I think it's gonna stay dry for the rest. If I can just see at the weather, I mean, you don't know with this game though, because it can suddenly change
quite a lot. Yeah.
So yeah, everyone is now lining up onto the grid.
Thanks to those of you that are watching the stream so far. Give us a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. As we're waiting for Nurtex to, yeah, he is. And we got the 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And we are about to get underway here in Brazil. And it's going to be a very long hold, so I don't know when they're actually going to make the start. And we eventually get underway, and it's a really good start from both Muller and Zones, actually. Zones getting a very good start. Bastic's dropped off quite a bit, actually, into turn 1. Hopefully no major instance into the first lap, first couple of corners, which is fine. They're all making through these center S's pretty cleanly as well. So a few people going side by side. Soren and Tara Bocken going side by side as well. We got Zones going, trying to go around the inside of Muller into turn 4, but couldn't quite make it work as well. Bastic trying to make up for lost time in a P3, but we've already had a spinner, and it is Chris in the Alfa Romeo. Not a good start that he would have wanted so far, and I think Mr. Anker's got past Krusik up into P6, but Krusik is going to try and get the switch back. Does he make it work? No, he does not. But they're still going to go side by side. These twisty little right-hander. I don't know how they're going to make it work. But great job from Krusik so far. Quite a few people have gained positions. Good start from Muller and Zones. Not a good start from Bastek.
Yeah, it was a pretty hectic start. But I'm glad that most of the people kept it clean. I'm not sure what happened to Chris though. I think we have to look into it later on after the race. So yeah, we got Miller who is first, then Zones, Bastek, Get Owned, Jonathan, Miss Rank, Krusik, Soren, Tara Bukin, and rounding off the top 10, Skrippy so far.
Yeah, pretty close battles at the moment. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Pretty close battles at the moment, but I wonder how the DRS trains are going to affect. Zone's still about a 10th behind Muller, but obviously when a DRS train comes into effect, he could possibly try and go for a lunge on Muller pretty soon as well. Jonathan is still close on Getone, but all of them are managing their ERS pretty well actually not using their overtake fully on the first lap, which I think is a good idea, to be honest. I think I've made a mistake on the first multiplayer lobby I did on this game. I left it on for the first lap and it ran out pretty quickly. So these are that is what a few of the guys will need to do, especially around here where there's a lot more straights compared to other tracks. Obviously, Italy has more straights more than anything because it's high throttle, of course. But the DRS detection zone will be coming up really, really soon. So a chance for some of these guys to get in their best moves. This is Zone's best opportunity right now to go for a move on the ever-charging Muller, who's looking pretty good. Not pulling away than we would have thought. DRS enabled. And we got a yellow flag. That is Zen that's spun in one of the right-handers. Zone's not getting the move, neither is Bastek. So all pretty intense at the moment by these guys, but just not quite close enough to make a move.
Yeah, I think Zename spun on the exit of, I think it's turn... I'm counting the turns right now because I don't know it out of my head right now. But I think it's turn 9.
Oh,
and we got Pantaleaf, who is retiring into the pit lane.
Will there be a safety car? Oh, no, but it has because he's retired in the pit lane. I'm guessing he didn't have a good start. Bit of a shame he gave up in the last second, but... You know, I mean, he could have gained quite a few positions, actually, if a few people made mistakes. So it'll be interesting to see what it would have been, but it may have been that he had a hardware issue or computer issue. We don't know. But hopefully he can come back stronger again next week. Second chance for some of these guys to get the move. Danny is closer to Skirpy, so I think this is going to be the closest battle we're going to see on track. We're going to keep an eye on the battle up front as well, but I think... it's the best chance is going to be between Danny and Skirpy now. Danny in the Ferrari, of course, in the parent team. We have a yellow flag. That is Zen again in the same corner, actually. He's struggling for his dear life around here. That's not going to do his tyres any good.
No, I don't think so. I think he spun now 2 corners before. So I'm not sure if he's struggling on these tyres because they are maybe too hot already from the spin before. So yeah, it's a shame that it's not going well so far for the guy. But you never know if there's gonna be a safety car if he can catch up back to the grid. So let's see what he can do.
Yeah, it's far from over, and Brazil's one of those tracks that definitely causes safety cars. So do watch out. We did see quite a few in the real life British Grand Prix, but we're not going to give you any spoilers. Do not worry. We won't tell you what happened. But let's just say the last few laps were absolutely crazy, let's just say, if you haven't watched it right now. But we're on to lap 5 already. Time does fly by when you're having fun and when you're racing. I've got to say, biggest gainers so far. I think Danny's going to go for the move into turn 1. He does. But look at this. Skirpy getting the better run into the centre S in from turn 3. Is he going to do the same into turn 4? He's going to try and get the inside line and out to the outside, and I think he takes it. Both of them going off the circuit, actually, which is not good. This will give Danny a better chance to go for it, but a real danger for Danny, actually. He's used quite a lot of his overtake button in his last couple of laps. It may come back to haunt him.
Yeah, it was a very close battle with Skrippy and Daniel because I saw them touching into turn 1, so I'm glad that they both survived and that they battled further and very cleanly. So yeah. Let's see what Gadon is getting close to Bastek. I'm not sure if he is going for an overtake or not. He's not using his overtake button. So
no.
I don't think that he's pushing too much and maybe saving tires behind Vias or Bastek.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be using your overtake every lap, otherwise your tyres will definitely die. But he's going to use it now. I think the best chance to really get the overtake button used is through turn 3 and 4. So he's done the right thing there, but he just can't seem to get past as well, which is a bit of a shame. All the top 4 are so close, but meanwhile Zoran and Kruziger go side by side into turn 4 and 5. Zoran, I think, was trying to defend from Kruzic there, and Kruz is losing a bit of ground as it seems so far. We also got the Alpha Tauri of Tara Buckin, Bukin, or however you say his name, doing quite well as well. If I look at the positions gained, he's short 1 position, but he's very keen to get his position 8 back from where he started at the start of the race. So he's not doing too bad, but he wants to gain more positions, of course.
Yeah. Oh, we got a yellow flag. Who is that? I think it's Zenami again. Yeah,
he's not having a good day in the office, is he? He's
no,
been lapped quite a few times now. I won't be
he's
surprised if he's gets called a day. Well, he wants to call it a day, that is. Excuse me, my
yeah.
English.
Right,
but
shame.
yeah, but you know, the other Alpha Tauri looking pretty good as well, as Zen's still keeping going. Fair play to him. And he's spit. Nope. Oh, we got a contact. It's Chris. Chris and Nerdtech had a bit of an op into turn 1. I think one of the drivers went around, tried to go for a move around the inside by the looks of things. And
I think they collided together and Chris retired on the track, which is a shame because normally you're not allowed to do that. So I'm sure that the stewards will have a look into that.
I think Chris went for the move on the inside, and obviously if you're on the inside around this track, when you try to go for a move, you're more prone to getting some damage. I found that in F1 2019, so that probably might be in a similar issue, or they may come into blows at somewhere else. But you know, Zen has retired as well, but again, I'm not really that surprised with Zen right now. Oh, we got a safety car, so a free pit stop for some of these guys.
Oh, and VSR Muller was just too far away to come into the pit lane, so he was just too late, and everyone else is coming into the pit. So he's very unlucky with that safety car coming out right now. I think he will be fuming behind the wheel. I'm not sure if he will lose too many positions. I guess he will, though. I mean, everyone is literally into the pit lane. Only Prosty. Oh, wait. No, Prostychek hasn't pitted yet, I think, so far.
Yeah, we got 3 drivers haven't pitted. Muller, Kohler, and Prosty, yeah. Everyone else has made their pit stops. So for some of these guys, the one-stop strategy is definitely out the window, because obviously lap 10 would be the ideal, or lap 13 would be the ideal situation. So most of these guys, it will be either soft to hards or soft medium softs, maybe, or soft medium medium could be the strat. We'll see.
Yeah, I think the medium guys are gonna go for sure back into the pits onto the soft tires, because I think you can't run the mediums until the end of the race.
So that will be Anchor, Jonathan, Scrippy, and Sauron.
Yeah, so I think the hard tires are going to the end. So I think Prostychek has still to pit for softer tires later on. Who we got now into the pit? Polyakov is going into the pit lane probably for those harder tires, so he won't lose too much time to the other guys.
We'll see where he goes anyway. We'll have to wait and see. He's on the hards, yes, so he's going for the conservative strategy, of course. So I think pretty much I think it usually goes on for 3 laps plus 1, the safety car on this game. It's not like real life where you have to wait for damage. It's 3 or 4 laps, but if they caught up beforehand, it's after a lap. So yeah, as I think it's not going to take that long for most of these guys to catch up. So we should be getting racing back really, really quickly. But Muller is going to be at a disadvantage compared to everybody else, because everybody else has pitted apart from Frosty. Bastek and Zones, they're going to be hunting him down like no tomorrow on those fresher tyres. Those softs are not going to see the light of day at the moment, so he needs to absolutely floor it on the restart.
I'm curious how the guys from the VS or Bastek are gonna deal with Prosty, because he is on older hard tires as well, and they need to overtake him first to get to VS or Muller. So let's see if maybe Prosty can hold the guys up behind him, and so VS or Muller can make a gap. And we got the safety car coming into this lap, so let's see what the restart is gonna do.
Yep, indeed, as Muller is going to be controlling the pace, of course, and obviously bad timing for him in the safety car, but he's going to focus on this part now. If he doesn't get a good restart, then he's lost quite a few positions for his first stint on the next set of tyres that he goes on to. So he's been holding up. Oh, that was a bit of a slide. You know these softs are not good, and the other drivers could see it from a mile off, so that means Bastek and Zones, they've got a good restart, but they've already been held up from Frosty behind. So here comes Bastic around the inside trying to into turn one. Frosty getting a little bit of a lock up, but that's allowing Muller to have pull away by almost a second. It's going to be hard, but Frosty drops back. Bastic is in P2, but Bastic's got a lot of work to do now. I don't think Bastic would have liked getting held up by Frosty, and neither was Zones. Either Zones now drops it down to 5th place. Anchor with a great overtake into turn 4.
It was a really beautiful move from Mr. Anchor. It was really tight on the inside of turn number 4. So yeah, it's good that he made the move stick around the insides of Zones.
Yeah,
oh, we
indeed.
got nearly Jonathan losing the backhand, nearly spinning out, but he could keep the car. He lost position to Scrippy, who he made contact with, so he lost a few positions with making that contact with Scrippy and nearly losing the backhand into sector 2.
That would have been extremely close, so I'm glad that it didn't have any instance, I can tell you that right now, obviously. So we've got Danny then on Jonathan right now as well, who was on similar strategy. We all got Zones trying to get past Frosty, and all Danny's gone off. He touched a little bit of BDG Jonathan, which was unfortunate, and he had to cut a bit of the center S actually, so he's lost a chunk of time, and he's now 16th out of 16th. That's not where he wants to be at this early stage of the Grand Prix.
I don't think that he had damage on his front wing, so that's a good thing that he didn't damage his front wing. So let's see what how the guys are doing in front, because Frosty is holding up Get Owned Scrippy. It's like a whole train right now, the trolley train, but yeah.
I'm liking this tactic, to be honest, Panther. I mean, you know, you may be helping, well, your teammates out of it, but you're probably going to help the other drivers more than your own. But it's gonna prepare for some tasty battling, nonetheless. So we're all for it. But I think a few of the other drivers will be like Ricardo a few races ago in real life, saying, "Get out the way!" But you know, Jonathan gets past Tower into turn 1, but look, we got Tower on the inside, almost the same mistake to what we see with Nurtex and Chris earlier on, but this time keeping it much cleaner and obviously a little bit tighter as well. We've got Zoran behind as well. We've got Get Own trying to go around the inside of Frosty. He gets past. What about Skerpy? I still can't get his name right. He's going to try and get them into turn 5. Could this be too wide? Oh, it's almost a little bit of a touch there, but he gets it done nonetheless.
Oh, we got Soran who is sending it down the inside of Frosty. Makes the move stick as well. Like, all these guys want to make these moves as quickly as possible so they don't lose time on the guys in front. Like, we got now Jonathan sending down the inside of Frosty check. So yeah, he's dropping down a few positions on these older, harder tires. So
yeah,
let's see what Tarabukin, if he can follow as quickly as the other guys can do to overtake Frosty or not.
We could see a repeat of hopefully we won't see a repeat of what happened in the British Grand Prix where the hards absolutely were dead. So
oh, that was very close with Tarabukin. He was sending it down the inside of Frosty and nearly collided with the backhand of Jonathan.
Oh.
So it was really, really close.
I think we had a battle for that we missed between Mr. Anchor and Bastek as well. We now got a Red Bull 1-2, but meanwhile, let's just stay on with Tarabukin and Frosty, as Frosty going to try. Oh, a little bit of contact there on the inside. That's not good from the Alpha Tower. He needs to learn to back down because we got Fruit 6 trying to go around the outside now. I can't remember what turn it is. I need to get my turn numbers in a second, but Fruit 6 is not like being held up either. He should be like 9th or 8th place right now, but he's down in 10th at the moment, but he gets past him anyway. What a relief for the McLaren driver.
Yeah, these guys are fighting for position. Like, Frosty still has to make his pit stop, so he's on his own strategy, but I get that he want to fight for these positions because it's going to be important later on for in the race, of course.
Yeah, especially towards the end. We'll have to wait and see. We may see people making mistakes as well. Here comes Skerpy round the inside of Soren into turn 1. He makes it look easy, to be honest. The Alfa Romeo as well. But look at Jonathan. He's on the browsing horse. He's gaining on the Mercedes at the moment around the inside. A little bit of a touch into turn 4. Major contact, but no damage nonetheless. But Skirby should be standing back just a little bit, but he's going to try and go for the move anyway. Jonathan lagging just a little bit. That's not good, but I think Sauron, could be his opportunity to pounce now, as he's going to try all this. Oh, this is really hard. Is he lagging on your screen?
He's lagging a little bit, but in the meantime we had an incident on the beginning of Sector 2. We had Polyakov. I don't know if he collided with someone. I think so, on the exit of the turn, and he lost a part of his front wing. So it's really a shame for Polyakov and the Racing Point. So I think he's gonna pit for a new front wing and probably going for the medium tires.
Yeah, so there he goes, down in 16th place. That's a shame, but here comes Kreutzer again, this time on the AlphaTauri into 9th place. Next stop is Scrippy in the AlphaTauri. This is where Kreutzer is back into his true form now at the moment. Can Tao Buckin get the move on the McLaren? Nope, he does not. But all this battling is allowing Muller to pull the gap that he needs to, 1.6 seconds. A lot of these guys on the mediums, they have to pit again for a set of the soft tyres. Muller doesn't have to pit again if he doesn't want to. He can stretch those soft tyres and go onto a set of the mediums. Well, actually, no, Mr. Anchor needs to pit again, whereas Bastic zones and Get Owned doesn't. Jonathan needs to pit again. Sauron needs to get pit again, and so does Scrippy. Everybody else is absolutely fine. I think they can get away with those hards until the end, but it's going to be a scrap at least. As speaking of Muller, he's in the pits right now.
Let's see where he's gonna come out, and I think he's gonna fit. Let's see what tires he's gonna fit on. Yeah, he's going for the medium tires and going to the end. And maybe he can hope that there is gonna be. Oh, there is
the Alfa Romeo's out. Where's that?
Yeah,
pit
we got script. Yeah, he DNF'd into the pit lane, so maybe he had some damage on his front wing and didn't want to, or maybe some issue with his computer or anything like that.
It will be interesting to see why he did that, because he was running quite a good race actually. So
yeah, indeed.
I am a bit shocked.
His AI car is still going to the exit of the pit lane. So.
Yeah, so he did retire from the pit lane, but that's what they're meant to do, of course. If you're retiring for choice, then you have to retire in the pit lane. So, and he did. So well done to him. It's a shame he's retired, but he's done the right thing for retiring in the pit lane. Meanwhile, Zones, I don't think he's going to get the jump on Bastic at the moment, but he is closing in, he is catching. He's got enough ERS, but he doesn't want to use it up too quickly. We've got another yellow flag. It's a Ferrari, and I think it's Danny, actually. No, it's not Danny, it's someone. Oh, no, it's...
Yeah, it was the ghost car of Scrippy, who was retiring.
Right. And Muller is dropped, obviously, down to 40 because he's pitted. And he's on the medium tyres, which we'll get to the end. And they're having a nice battle with the Racing Point as well, so at least they're still having a cheeky battle as well. Nice to see a mixture of strategies this race. The safety car definitely changed things up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was a huge disadvantage towards Muller, who couldn't pit on time, so it's really a shame for him. But who knows, maybe he can recover those positions with the guys who are now on older hard tires. So he's gonna have the advantage right now to have these fresher medium tires who are gonna be faster for sure. So let's see if he can catch up and maybe get some points still in the end.
He's got to really, but imagine what he would have done if the safety car came just at the right time. He would have been on the same strategy as the guys around him. So what a shame for him, but I think he just got a bit unlucky really. It wasn't down to his pure skill, it was just unluckiness really. And that's what safety car does for you really, to be honest. But luckily his teammate Mr. Anchor is doing a sterling job in P1 at the moment. Still keeping up tough at the front, but again he has to make one more stop, so that's not for the net lead. The net leader at the moment is VSR Bastek in the Williams.
Yeah, we got the battles are settled down now a little bit, so it's we can take some we can breathe a little bit back again.
Yeah, definitely.
So we got now Müller, who has put it the fastest lap, who is catching up quickly to Galbowand. So he was like 4 seconds down a lap earlier, and now he is 2 seconds. So I think he's gonna catch up very quickly, and he's gonna hope that he can make the move stick. It's also like not the first time that the safety car changed the order completely, because in the race before we had 2 safety cars, and it was like playing a huge disadvantage into the leaders as well. So it's part of racing, of course, so it's not into your own hands. So yeah, gotta be lucky sometimes to have a win and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's for some tracks. It's also about skill, and it's sometimes about luck as well. So you know, I mean, it's a shame if you don't get much luck, really. But I think that sums up the real life British Grand Prix for some drivers. Not going to name who, but you know. Yeah, you have to actually drive well to get some luck in the way. So you know, as Galba Van has just got passed by BSR Muller. And Muller set the fastest lap of this race so far with a 109.034. So he is catching, but not at the rate that I thought he would. But he'll probably get past Nurtex pretty soon, because he's on 10 lap old hards. But we shall see anyway. I think this DRS train, like last week in all the tiers, is just not helping some of these guys get past at the moment.
No, indeed. It's for sure, if you look at the top 3 guys, like if you're the guy who is running in second place, it's easy to defend because you have the DRS of the guy who is running in first place, and you can defend easily from the guy who is running third. So you can save also a lot of ERS and maybe attack later on into the race, because it's not like if you make now a move, then you have to make sure that you can run away from the guys who are then behind you. So you don't want to overtake someone and then can't run away from it, because you're gonna lose time only to the guys who are behind you.
Exactly. I mean, the more you spend with these battles, you're gonna get owned, catch up. They're on the same amount of tires. Zoran as well, but again, Zoran will need to hit Jonathan. He's having a cheeky battle with Zoran as well. He's doing pretty good so far with a good comeback as well. But for some of these guys, they could be on for their first point of the season, of course. And don't forget, the standings are provisional, of course. Obviously, they still got to add the stewards' penalties as well. But I expect all the championship to be hotting up, obviously. I do believe all 22 tracks are being run. Am I correct? Just in a different order?
Yeah, I think the first few tracks were completely random, but I think later on into the season it's gonna be like the official calendar. I'm not sure too about it, because the first 10 tracks has been released and which date it is. So.
All right, okay. We'll double check anyway. We'll double check. As Annika has got a 3-second time penalty. Not many penalties we've seen, but we may have seen a few, but it wasn't caught on stream. As Frosty and Nerdtex go try and go for me. This is for P11 on track. I believe Frosty just pitted, so he's on the
Oh, they made contact.
Oh, they made contact. That is not good at all. And he's almost hit Muller. Luckily, Muller just slowed down just in time, and he breezes past the Renault. But it would have been curtains for Muller if he got caught up in that. If he went at the same speed, it would have been game over for him. So.
Oh, we got Nurtex who is spinning again.
I think Nurtex and Frosty got a bit too risky.
Yeah, they collided together. I think Frosty was moving to the left-hand side, and I think Nurtex wasn't expecting it too much, so they collided together. And I think now the tires are pretty hot of Nurtex, which made him spin and lose him some damage on the front wing, sadly enough.
That is a bit of a shame, of course, as Owen gets a 3-second time penalty as well. Still the slipstream fest between obviously first and third at the moment. But we got Zoran and Jonathan. Jonathan goes to the inside into turn 4. They go side by side and he gets the job done nicely. But for how much longer? Can Zoran do the switchback? He's going to try for the switchback. Jonathan closes the door pretty quickly and does a Hulkenberg. See you later. You're not getting the move done on me easily. Jonathan stays P5.
Yeah, he wants to... every point will count for sure in this championship. So it's reasonable that he wanna defend his position as hard as he can, because you're gonna need those points in the end of the championship, and yeah, it can decide on 2 points in the. It can like make such a difference in the end.
Yeah, definitely, especially in the final couple of rounds where it is even more crucial, and you could be looking back at these opening few races and think, what if I scored higher places in Brazil and Italy? It would have been different for these guys. So every race is crucial more than anything, really. You've got to have a good start of the season.
Yeah, indeed, it's like it's. I think it's allowable that every driver will have a bad day for sure. Like you have those guys like Zename, for example, who had a bad day today, but maybe next race he will get onto the top step of the podium and like catch up back those points. So in the end, it's all gonna work out for every driver for sure. But you gotta make sure that you're being very what's the word for it?
I don't know
I
what word
forgot
you're.
it.
I don't know what word you're thinking of. Conservative.
Um,
I don't even. We probably won't be able to think about it until the stream
yeah.
ends. That always happens. I'm like, oh, I meant to say that word.
Oh, we
But,
got
we
here
got a battle
battle
for
for
the
the lead.
lead. As Bastet goes for a move into turn 1. He just did it just before the DRS straight, actually. A brilliant move from him. We just about caught it. And we didn't get a good camera shot, unfortunately, as well. But here comes Zone. He's getting a better exit into turn 3 now, going into turn 4. Could this be a double overtake? It's not a double overtake, but he gets past Mr. Anchor at least. Mr. Anchor's medium tyres are absolutely dying right now, and that's why he's not lost not just one position, but 2 positions. Surely Mr. Anchor has got to pit really, really soon.
Let's see if I'm not sure if he's gonna try to make the medium tires to the end, because if you pit now, it's surely that you will be maybe outside of the top 10. Depends what Jonathan and Soren are gonna do as well on those medium tires, if they can keep them to the end of the race. So yeah, let's see what Zones can do now with VS or Bastek, if he can run away from Zones or not.
That is the question right now. Bastet is now on track, your race leader, and the net race leader. So if he can have some clear air and pull away like he needs to and get out of the DRS, then that could be the win for him. But we know how quick Zones is, so Zones wouldn't give up without a fight.
Yeah, so far I think Mr. Renka is gonna try to stick within a second of the top 3 guys, and maybe he can hope that the guys in front of him will have a 3-second time penalty, because we gotta watch out for that as well. If someone has a 3-second time penalty and you're like within the 3 seconds, then of course you're gonna be in front of him if you have a clean race director as well.
Yeah, penalties does take into effect quite a lot around this track right now, and I thought I saw a battle emerging, but we got Zoran almost trying to make the move on Jonathan again. But again, Jonathan closes the door, but look at Crucis. He's getting the better run, I think, into the tricky set of corners now, and they're all about to head towards Junsao, and he's dropped back a bit, so no, he's not going to go for the move as of yet. I think Bassick is doing quite well on those hard tyres, and he is going to have a very good run, hopefully. But I think he's got more ERS, which is benefiting more than Zones, who's only on 19% ERS.
I'm curious what Soron will do against Jonathan, because Jonathan is defending that 5th position really well at the moment, and Soron and Kruzix are just stuck behind him right now, even though they have more ERS than Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan, I think, is probably benefiting more than his rivals, to be honest, and that can help him defending, because not many people, at the start of the game, not many people used overtaking for defending as the overtake button, but it becomes even more crucial because the guy behind you is using overtake, and it's quite OP on some tracks, so you've got to use it when you need it, really, and it's just as important when you're defending more than anything. So that is why Jonathan is perfectly managing it right now as well. Only you doing it at certain moments, but he's already at a certain stage where he's on the same level of ERS management compared to the likes of Sauron, who's now on 52%. So the guys are now swapped in terms of EOS management now. I think Sauron might be watching the stream or something and learnt from my lessons, or he's just good at EOS management when it only counts. But we shall see. But Zones is quite close to Bastic on that lap, but again, not close enough to get the move done.
Oh, we got a Terabukin as well, who is looking for a move to make on a Cruisix, but he couldn't find a way around him, so he's backing out again. Like, I think there's now a huge train forming up behind Jonathan. I think we got how many? I think we got 4 cars behind him right now. We got Sauron behind him, we got Cruisix, Terabukin, and then VSR, Psych, or Jake. So let's see if these guys can make a move into this train and move up around to get the positions done.
Yeah, indeed. Not like long to go until the end of this race. It's gone quickly, actually. But that means less chances for people to get the move done, really. But here's Zone's next opportunity. Could this be the move that he's looking for into turn 1? A lot closer than he was in previous laps. This could really be the start of things to come for Zones if he gets this right. Bastek just doing well on straight line speed at the moment. Maybe his setup is geared more to straight line speed, and that's helping him a little bit, whereas Zoned is gaining a little bit more on the corners. So that is why Zoned is just not gaining as much as he would have liked at this stage on those harder tyres. Fair play to Anchor though on those mediums. It must look absolutely dying right now, but I wonder if he can overcome Moors, but surely he wants to get past that point as well. So the later he pits, obviously the chance he gets to get the fastest lap.
Yeah, it's I'm quite surprised that Mr. Enka is still holding up on to that 3rd position. He's really doing a great job on these old medium tires to still stick with the top 2 guys and not let them run away. And also he has to defend from Get Owned, who is also on the harder tires. So it's really just waiting out for the perfect moment to attack, to get that podium spot for Get Owned if he wants to overtake Mr. Enka.
Yeah, I think you can tell that the mediums are dying due to the fact Get Owned is catching. So, you know, I think Mr. Anchor has got to think on his feet a little bit. Would I rather finish the race or lose track position? And we do have a battle, I believe. Yes, we do. We have Zoron on BDG Jonathan. Can he make the move done this time?
Oh,
yes,
they made contact.
Can. Oh, he made a little bit of contact, actually. Oh, that was almost close into being an absolute shun. We got a massive train from Zoron down to Tara Bunkin, actually to Psych, actually. This could be...
Oh, we got Cruisix sending it down the inside of Jonathan.
Jonathan's retired.
He retired on the... Why did he retire?
He ghosted or something, so it might be that he had to go, or he had wheel issues or connection issues. I don't even know. He's left.
He was doing so well. It's really a shame.
It is a shame. A big shock, I think, to the session, I've got to say.
Yeah, indeed. So now we got guys moving up. We got VSR Muller back into the top 10, who is nearly within a second of Daniel at the moment. So let's see if he can make up more positions to get some recovery points from that unlucky safety car, which came out earlier due to the crash.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to come back to bite him later on in the season. But we still got Danny, who is going to be trying to get past Psych. And I think we've got Nurtix trying to unlap himself at the moment. Luckily, ghosting is on though, so you can do that. But Danny's not going to like that. It's going to kind of distract him, really. But Get Own's now 2 tenths behind Mr. Anchor. Get Own can see Mr. Anchor struggling on those tyres. Shame you can't really ask Jeff about how worn the tyres are for the car behind. But,
yeah,
you know, I wonder if that's a feature they may bring in the next game.
Yeah, indeed. We got Zones as well, who is running out of ERS at the moment. He has less than 10% of ERS, while VSR Bastek is still having 40% of ERS. In the meantime, we got also Mr. Enka losing the position to Get Owned for 3rd place. And Cruisix moving up from P6 to P5, overtaking Sauron, who is not gonna give up so easily. he is going back into the attack. We got nearly 3 wide. We got Soron on the outside of
Ooh.
Kruzix. Can he make it stick? No, he cannot. He made contact with Tarabukin, who is now still on the inside. They make contact and they crash. Soron is out. He retired.
Oh, that was unfortunate for Zorn, and I think all of them just got a bit too unlucky
Well, we have
there.
a safety car.
Oh, do
I
we?
don't think so.
No, we don't. It's not popping up. It's just yellow flag in sector 2 on the track map.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I wish it was a safety car though. That would have spiced up the race a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. I think. We got VSR Muller now sending it down the inside of Daniel into the last corner of, or the first corner of sector 3. So now he's running into P8. So he's moving up quite fastly now with the last 2 DNFs from the Jonathan and Soron.
I think
So
Muller
let's
is
see if-
benefiting from the mistakes. You see, do not give up, and you get rewards like what Muller's doing. And fair
Yeah,
play to Nurtex
sure.
as well. He's a lap down. He's still racing. He's still giving it his go, and he's still matching the pace of some of the other guys. So well done to Nurtex, really. To be honest, for it's just the
Yeah, for not
experience,
giving
really.
up.
Yeah, to be honest, that's what I. To be honest, I do that as well. I just like to race because, to be honest, finishing every race is better than retiring.
Yeah, exactly. Even though you have like a few spins, even though I remember my first race here in ORL a few seasons ago. I think it was on F1 2016, and I was like 6 laps down on the top lead of the guys, and I was still trying to finish the race. Well, it was my first race without any assists, so it's really about having the strength to not give up and keep on going.
Exactly, and that's what some of these guys are doing right now as well. And even though it's not a battle on track, it's just great to see that Nurtex is pulling consistent lap times at the moment just to try and unlap himself. But we'll see. Meanwhile, Zones was ever so close on Bastet. He could taste it, he could feel it, but it's just not quite there. His ERS is out as well, which probably that's what costed him P1 at the moment. But imagine if Zones gets the overtake done on the final few laps, what would that do to Bastet? Could we see a battle for the win at last for most of this, well, for the last few laps? I really do hope so.
I hope so as well. I think the battle isn't over yet. That Zones is for sure gonna try everything to get that P1 from VSO Bastic.
So I think it's the only 2 that can do it, to be honest, because Get Owned is a little bit too further back. But Get Owned is probably going to hope that the top 2 make mistakes, and then he could still be winning a shot of winning this race. Very interesting enough, Get Owned is running the number 44 right now.
Oh yeah, indeed, I see.
So, you know, maybe he's got a little bit of Lewis Hamilton in his mind right now. Here comes Zones. Nah, again, the Bastet defender. We got a yellow
We got a
flag.
safety car. We got Nurtex spinning around.
We don't have a safety car. We just have a yellow flag. That is Nurtex, yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime, we had VSR Muller, who was overtaking VSR Psych for 7th place. So he's still moving up on the grid. He has now Tarabukin and Kruzix right in front of him. So let's see if he can move up further to the top 5 maybe.
Luckily, we haven't had any rain affected in this race. It's been dry throughout the whole of this session. Well, even qualifying, which I've never experienced that in Brazil, where it's been dry the whole session in dynamics. So fair play, Cody. But yeah, I don't think I think the only penalty Muller has got is 1 3-second one, I believe. So, or it might be an anchor, but I'm not sure. But
we got Soron hitting the back end of Mr. VSO Bastic. He lost some front wing damage. I think he outbroke himself trying to make as much time to VSO Bastic, but unlucky, he touched the rear end of VSO Bastic.
As far as I'm aware, we're getting inside sources that potentially, if we could see if Anchor.
Oh, we got here VSR Muller. Sorry for interrupting.
That's fine.
Nearly making a double overtake on Tarabukin and Kruzix, but he just about couldn't make the move stick on Kruzix, making slightly contact, but still keeping the car on track, which is good.
How is Anchor still going on those mediums? I think.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, he may have a puncture though. I'm looking. Did he have a puncture yet? He's still going. Fair play. I mean,
I think he is fine so far.
I think he must be tyre saving for sure.
Yeah, but the guys from the Kruzix and VSR Miller are catching up quickly to him,
They are. I think Anchor is struggling right now, and we got the rev glitch from Kruzix, which is not good. So on the final lap,
I think we got. Do we got a puncture? Yeah, I think Gedont has a puncture. He has a puncture on the rear right tire.
Owned? Oh yeah, he does. I see it. So we thought Mr. Anchor's gonna get a puncture, but no, it's get owned instead.
And it's Kruzix now going for P4. So if he can get owned on time, wow, this is just. Oh, we got VSR. Yeah, VSR.
I think
Mr. Anchor has a puncture too.
He has a puncture front right.
Oh, this is so relatable to something.
Yeah, which we're not gonna say. One or two. That 4 cars got a punch. No.
Oh, we got now VSR Muller side by side with Kruzix to make contact.
They got damage.
Right. Oh, we still got we got Kruzix still now in P3.
Hold on a second. We're gonna ride on board with our race winner. Unfortunately, Zones could not get past Bastet today. But here he goes. Bastet in the Williams takes the win on track, with Zones getting a respectable P2. But it's going to be a run to the line with a damaged front wing. Who's going to get P3 on track? Is it Kruzix or is it Muller? It's Muller.
It's going to be Kruzix.
Jake with a really good P5 actually. Danny in 6th, and that punch definitely costed him there.
We got Tara booking even with a puncture right now.
It is oh my god, it is relatable to the real life. Oh my god. 3 cars got a puncture on the final few laps.
And we got VSR Muller still P4 from recovering from that unlucky safety car. So really, really good job to him to make that recovery back to the top 4 even. That's insane.
That is insane. I think I'll look at biggest gainers actually whilst I do that. Biggest gainers. Jake gained 7 positions. Danny's gained 4. Gelberband gained 5, Koala gained 3, Frosty and Nurtex gained 6, Kruzix gained 2, Zones gained 1, and obviously Bastet has gained 1, because obviously Bastet started from P2, and he went on to win the race. But Lap Pamper, who is your driver of the day?
I think I'm considering between VSR Jake and VSR Muller, because even though he got unlucky with the safety car, he still made that great recovery back to the top 4. And we got Jake who moved up 7 positions, as you said. So really good job to the guys, and also to I can't come up to his name right now. Who won?
Well, I feel gutted for Mr. Anchor. I mean, but I think that's where he would have been if he pitted for the soft, but we would never know anyway. But I've got to say, well, fair play to Muller for getting back to 4th place, and Sight for going from, Jake going from 12th to 5th. I'm going to give driver of the day to Jake, actually. So, well done to him. He avoided the trouble, and he gets rewards for it. So, here we go. Let's go through your results. Bastek and Zones. Only 3 drivers did not get a penalty. Kruzix in 3rd, Muller 4th, Jake 5th, Danny, good result from him in 6th. Well done to him for after starting 10th. Get owned in 7th, unlucky for him to get a puncture as well. Tower getting 8th place, another one not to get a penalty, so well done to him too. Mr. Anchor in 9th, and Galvavan is your last points finisher. Koala, Prosty, fair play to Nerdtex for keeping going and finishing P13. Your non-finishers are Sauron, Jonathan, Skirpy, Chris, Zen, and Pantalev. And that has been your Brazilian Grand Prix.
That race was really. That last lap was very intense to watch. With all these, with punctures, like. I still can't believe what all happened. For sure, with Mr. Anka and.
Yeah.
And, I forgot. Oh my goodness, I'm doing so bad with the names right now.
I think
Apologies.
no, it's fine. I think one word we just got to say. I can't believe a similar thing happened in the end of this race and what happened in the last race in the real life. Except Bastek didn't get a puncher. It was the other
exactly.
guys. But one of the Mercedes got a puncher. You know?
Oh yeah, indeed. Yeah, it was a get owned, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, it was going close for Mr. Anka with those medium tires to finish it. So still well done to him, but it's a shame that he had that puncture in the end. He still got into the top 10 though, so I think he will be happy still with P9. But yeah, it's a shame that he couldn't. The race wasn't maybe like until lap 35, so otherwise all these punctures wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, indeed. But I think that safety car, affected some of these drivers today, and without that safety car, they would have pushed those softs just for a little bit longer. And for Get Owned, it might have been a podium for him, but we will never know. Anyway, so that is it then for ORL Tier 2. We'll be live again next week for some more action. Thank you very much, Black Panther, for joining me this week.
Yeah, thank you as well for commentating. It was really fun.
I enjoyed it as
race.
well. Yeah, it was a good race. We will see you soon. What is the track next week? Because I can't remember.
It's gonna be Austria.
Oh yes, I love Austria. I'm sorry, one of my favourite tracks on this game. So should be an absolute great one. I think qualifying is going to be the closest we've seen for a while actually. So make sure you join us then. See you next week for some more ORL action in Tier 2. Have a good evening, everybody. What's left of it anyway, and good night.